right, well, it looks like we have quorum. Let's go ahead and get started. I'll start off with our remote meeting procedures. Wait, I'm sorry, let me just see if somebody else joined. Nope, not yet. Okay. In keeping with the ongoing emergency order from Governor Charlie Baker to limit gatherings and maximize social distancing. And under legislation passed to address remote board meetings during the emergency declaration, this meeting will be conducted remotely via Zoom. Attendance by committee members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count towards quorum. The meeting will broadcast live and will be recorded on eCast. While the board members will be on video, while committee members will be on video and audio, public participants will join the meeting muted with no video feed. Public lines will be muted throughout the meeting to allow the committee to conduct our business and eliminate background noise. For general meetings, public participation in the Zoom meeting public participating in the Zoom meeting may submit a written question via text chat, provided they include their full name and address for the public record. Members of the public viewing the meeting on eCat may submit questions in writing via email to mblanchard@easton.ma.us. All votes will be by roll call, and when all business indicated on the agenda has been completed, the members will vote to adjourn the meeting, signaling the end of the meeting and the termination of the eCat recording. Okay, can go ahead and get started. Calling the meeting to order. Can we go ahead and do roll?
Ornstein here? Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Sure.
Marjorie, yes. Marjorie's here.
Durant's here. Hirschman here.
McKay is here.
Foster here. Julia.
I'm hearing a lot of feedback there. Chan is here. I'm not sure what that was, but we're good now.
Was it me?
Awesome.
Better?
I don't think it was you. You're good now, though, Allie.
Virtually here.
Okay, you're good. So did everyone get a chance to review the minutes? Anybody have any questions or updates? Okay, vote to approve the minutes.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second, all right, let's go ahead and take a vote.
Marjorie, yes.
Ornstein, yes.
Durant's yes.
Hirschman, yes.
Foster, yes. McKay, yes.
Julia's.
And Chen, yes. Excellent, thank you. Minutes have been approved. All right, first on our agenda is the religious observance calendar update. And I know, Amy, you sent out a draft for the team to review. You want to go ahead and provide an update to the team?
Yep. I collected all the feedback, made some changes. I guess I just wanted to check in with everyone else to see if there's any more feedback. Kathy, did you send it to the ally list?
I did not.
Okay.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, that would be great. And then that can wrap up the rest of the feedback, I think.
All right, and by Friday?
Yeah,
So
great.
Quickly. Okay.
Yep.
Amy, can you pass around the corrected or updated version?
Yep, I'll send it out after the meeting.
And just so we can get it to the schools before the end of September, do you think we can provisionally vote to accept, subject to the finalization that Amy makes?
Good idea.
Yep, let's go ahead and do that. So just to clarify, final updates to you, Amy, by Friday. And Kathy's gonna distribute to our allies. We're going to go ahead and vote to accept and move those forward. Want to start off the vote, Craig?
Audrey, yes.
Ornstein, yes.
Durant, yes. Foster, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Hey, yes.
Julie, yes.
Chan, yes. Okay, we have accepted and approved to move that forward. So just remind me again, what is a distribution path here? I think we,
Leisha.
okay, it just goes straight to Leisha.
Yeah, and then she sends down to the principals who then distribute to all the staff in their schools. Is that Michelle's confirming that my hunch is correct?
Yes, that's correct. Send it to Alicia. Yep, and she'll get it out to everyone.
Okay, excellent. Easy. All right, NRT planning. Allie, you want to take this one?
Sure. So planning is underway. I pulled together the proposal for the select board to not only get approval for the funding. Craig's on that. Craig, when did you say the next meeting is?
9:13.
9/13. So that gives us about 2 weeks. So unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to order a bunch of the materials before we get that approval, because 2 weeks isn't going to be enough lead time. Which is fine. I can order them. And then, Karen, I'm going to have to connect with you. And I think, Liz, you mentioned your daughter too was artistic, and we could plan some sort of time to frame up the actual photo of the wings. Oh, and then Catherine, you had sent a suggestion on a slightly different way to do the feathers, which I like. So instead of using white paper and having participants paint it or color it or marker it or whatever, she suggested that we actually use colored paper to begin with, and then just have them decorate it with either, I think it was either black, gray, or white markers or crayons or whatever it is that will work on the paper. I have to experiment around with that a little bit. I think that will be cleaner than using paint, and we won't necessarily need to let it dry for very long. If it's marker, maybe. If it's pencil, we don't have to let it dry at all. So I think that's going to be probably a better bet. Go ahead.
I think it will look better because the colors, we can organize the colors as we go out.
Right, and it will definitely be more saturated in color, which I agree. I think it's, yeah, thank you for suggesting that. I think that's a great idea. I don't think it's going to affect the budget at all. In fact, I started pricing it out. I think it's going to be pretty much the same thing. I just need to really do some research to figure out the best bet of like what white would be the best white. But I can sort that stuff out. So we're on target for that. One question I had was around the t-shirts. So we have a couple of quotes for the t-shirt, and I inserted that as a line item in the budget that we're asking the select board for. But I can't remember who was on point to actually order the t-shirts. Was it one of you, or did we not decide?
I don't think we decided. I feel like at the last meeting, people were going to research possibilities of vendors, but I don't think we decided on who.
Okay. Do we have any takers? I'm not sure. I can take that on too. I have some vendors that I can send somebody some names of.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, I'll send you a bunch of stuff, Liz. I don't think you can more. I also don't have the circular artwork either that says Town of Easton Human Rights Committee. I'm still trying to get my hands on that file.
I can send you the file. I started to send it, and there's actually a problem. I have to have my husband fix it. There's a problem with the background where it's cut off. I'm afraid if you put it on a t-shirt or tried to print it, that it would look a little bit weird. So let me just fix it and send it to you.
Okay, actually, can you send it to Liz?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Both of us maybe, or all of us, we should probably all have it at some point.
Send it to all of us so we can have it. Now, do we think, the line item for the budget for that is a sort of a good percentage of what we're asking? Do we think there's gonna be any problem with that, Craig?
I can't answer for the other members of the select board, but and I'm hopeful that there will be no issues. It's not a huge amount of money being asked for.
What's our current budget total?
527.
527.
Yeah. I mean, the Unity project, for context, was twice as much as that.
Good. And they're, honestly, they're shirts that we'll reuse, so I'm okay with it being one of the bigger pieces of the budget.
Yeah. Okay, so Ally, you'll send me.
Here's everything that I have on t-shirts, yeah.
Okay, did we finalize the design, or was that part of the negotiation in terms of who we're dealing with and what the pricing was for different options?
So I think we sort of decided at our last meeting that we should use the round artwork that says Town of Easton Human Rights Committee. That's as far as we got. I mean, I don't know if we want to put on the front like a small thing or a big thing or whatever. I think it depends on, the cost of some of them. So I guess maybe, can we leave it up to Liz to decide on that? Do we need to vote on that? Or is that good?
I don't think that's over on that.
Okay, good. Liz, it's all yours. And then the one thing that actually we do need to vote on, the sort of tagline. I'm just going to share my screen for a moment. I think I was able to see anything. Had to.
I saw some bunnies, but then everything disappeared.
like the
My
bunnies.
son's it's my son's laptop. Yeah, it's not letting me share anything except Zoom. Okay, so we can't share it, but what I can do is, oh wait, I think I figured it out. Yes. No, that's fine. Just gonna read them to you. So we could go with a couple of quotes. So as you guys remember, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So if you remember, so that's the picture. So what we need to choose together is the white text that goes along the top. I think it needs to be something quite simple. And so there are a couple of quotes, there we go, that I found that I thought sort of communicated the message that we're trying to send with this project. The two at the bottom are just sort of me summarizing it in my own words. They're similar to the ones above, similar messages, but just a little bit simpler. So we need to just figure out which one we're going to put on there.
And so if we were to use one of the quotes, we would actually have to put the name in which we quoted as well. So I think that would also kind of take up space if we're trying to go with simple, right?
Yeah.
So just as a reminder, this is an example of how they did it with the quote up top. We could, put the attribution for the quote underneath. We could put it under there.
Mm-hmm.
So about 8 words. Does that look about right, Ally, on top? I'm sorry.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yep, could be. And then I think probably down below we would put a little QR code and then probably our logo. But those could go in the corners and they don't need to be large.
vote for Maya Angelou.
I do too.
That was my thought too.
Do we think it's too many
I'm good
words?
with that.
I mean, I like it, great, I think it's wonderful, but it's more than 8.
So I thought of that, and one
Oh.
possibility is to do in diversity there is, and then on the other side do beauty and strength.
Can we shorten somebody's quote though, or was that a quote?
If we have to
Um,
use ... if we do, right?
Well, yes and no. I mean, you probably want to double check that this is actually Maya Angelou's words
I
to
did.
begin with. You know, it's possible it's like been floated out there, but this might even be an abbreviation of where it started.
Yeah, I'll check again. I did actually check it, but I will check it one more time just to make sure. But we could,
use the and sign instead of the word and that'll kind of save us a little bit of space. But I think we
Yeah.
can make it fit.
it could be in diversity, there is beauty and there is strength, Maya Angelou.
Love it.
That was my personal favorite too. Any other thoughts? Anybody have
Alright.
a favorite?
Best one.
Winner, winner?
Winner, winner.
Okay, good.
All right.
Let me just double check my notes to see if there's anything else that we wanted to.
Thank supply Google Doc.
Yeah,
Did you get everything? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Thank you for those of you who added your name. So the only thing we need is one more glue gun, which I can pick up very easily. And then we don't have any way to, I was thinking we'd probably need 2 10x10 pop-up tents. We don't have, I guess none of us have those. So I think we probably should reach out to our ally list at this point to see if anybody's interested in lending those to us. Kathy, are you willing to send them an email since you?
Yeah. Do we
Right.
just need 1 or 2?
Sorry?
Do we need 1 or 2?
I think we need 2 just in the event that it rains.
Okay, so 2 10x10 pop-up tent.
10x10-ish. They can be slightly.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you already submit to the select board, like all the information on the proposal and the budget?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, Craig's gonna show it, I guess, to the board at their next meeting.
Because I'm thinking that might also be something we put in the budget. But if it's too late, then.
It's already been submitted to Dottie Fulgenetti and the town administrator.
Okay. Off it
Whether
goes.
it's actually on the agenda yet, I don't think so, but I'm wondering if the town actually has some tents. I'm wondering if Ally reached out to, actually, you know what? I'll reach out to Mike Blanchard tomorrow and ask him whether or not the DPW has, or we could borrow a couple of their tents, because I've seen that they've had tents at different events.
Okay.
I can ask them. I don't know whether they're able to do that or not, but I can certainly ask.
That would be great. And then if they don't, can you just let me know either way, and then I'll circle back with Kathy if we don't have them yet.
Well, Kathy can still ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kathy can still ask and
Okay. Thank you. And then
What about volunteers?
Yeah, I haven't created a sign-up sheet for that yet, but I will create one. I just need to think through how many we need and probably for how long each. And then I will send that to this group first to see if folks are interested in signing up. And then after that, we can circulate it to the allies just to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, because the students are actually like the National Honor Society. They'll be looking for volunteer hours. I know my daughter would be interested in folks like that. So we may we may be able to probably get a whole bunch of high school students to help us out.
Good.
So what
Sounds-
did we decide for the tickets? How did that work out? How many tickets will we be able to provide?
Yeah, so I built into the budget the ask for, I'm just trying to find it here. For 5 entry fees.
And then they give us a few, right? Does
They
that
usually
give
give
us
us
2?
3, I believe. So that would be 8. So that might even do the trick. Yeah, that might do it. I don't think we need massive amounts of people for this.
Okay, awesome.
Ally, are we gonna have a feather cutting party?
We are, yeah, I will take a look at the calendar to see when I could do it, and I'll propose a few dates, and then we can figure something out.
Right.
And also, I'm always looking for an excuse to clear out excess art supplies in my house. So if you have a need for stuff or want to experiment, like,
Okay.
let me know.
Anything black, gray, or white for writing utensils, we definitely need, whether they're markers or Sharpies or, I mean, it could be really anything as long as they're those 3 colors.
That might also be an opportunity for volunteers, people looking for hours to cut feathers.
Oh, good idea. You're right. Yep. Okay.
And allies, I'm sure, would donate supplies if they're miscellaneous things we need to. So maybe put that in with the tent email.
Mhm.
We need, yeah, okay. How many feathers are we getting?
So probably a couple thousand. How many people? How many people did we get at the event in the past? Do we remember? It's hundreds. Like
Yeah,
Over 500.
yeah, 500 or 600.
And I assume some people would probably want to do more than one, especially kids. I mean, I think we should probably have 1,500 to 2,000 ready. Get your scissors ready, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe once we cut some out, we'll have a sense of how quick that process is to see if we can underdo it and have some volunteers. Like if we feel like we're running out, they could cut that day.
Yep, that's a good idea. Yeah, we could have somebody just sitting there cutting too, and cutting duty for the day. I mean, I'm assuming if it's going to be construction paper, you can cut a couple, 3 at a time too. And they definitely don't need to be perfect. Yeah, yeah, I'll pull together stencils, so we could have some sort of an assembly line going where somebody just sort of, draws out the stencil and the next person cuts.
Hey, I did send around the Rise Up for Humanity poster, or I think we said we would frame it and kind of put it at one of our tables, just so that folks understood the artwork that was chosen. I didn't get too many comments back, so I think that we're good to go with that. I'll go ahead and frame that one and move that forward. And then were we going to have the stickers, right? That's what we planned on doing with the artwork, was be able to distribute the stickers along with that. Nothing else there, I think, pretty much, right?
So I had suggested making a coloring sheet, and I contacted Amy to
Yes.
see if we could get line art, and she was going to see if her husband, she wasn't sure, if we could make line art out of the arts, but then just attach the sticker, and then we can have some information. So we just need to get the line art printed, and then attach with the sticker.
You can still try to do that.
Okay.
It could be part of our paper cutting. Do all belongs to.
Yeah, just do like paperclip. Yeah. So Amy, just let me know what happens, and then I can organize that once we figure out if we can get line art.
You just mean like taking the artwork and
take
making it black and white outline so that people can color it in. Okay.
But that
Yeah,
way
and
they
I
can have a
suggested trying
takeaway
to
with
get
our information on it, and they have an activity to do at home, and they can like match the colors or do whatever they want. Sorry, Karen.
No, I love that idea. I think that I suggested we try and get the skin colored crayons. See if anybody would be interested in maybe donating some of those to us for that event. So I reached out. I haven't heard anything back, but this reminds me that I should follow up. So let me do that. Hopefully we can get somewhere with that.
One challenge with the coloring pages is, does anyone have a printer, and would anyone be able to print it out? Not that I'm working from home, I don't have access to a good printer.
Wait, are these to color there or to take and color at home?
To take and color at home. And it would have our information about the Human Rights Committee and like our website.
Yeah. So we don't need the skin color crayons if they're coloring at home, right?
Right.
Right. It would have just been a giveaway.
Oh, I see. I get it. Who doesn't love a giveaway?
Is it something we can print at the town hall? Can we use their office, or that's not something we can do?
I don't know, Craig, do you know?
I'm gonna have to ask on that.
I don't have a fancy printer, but I have a printer.
How many do you think we need?
Oh, but I would only be printing one, and then we would then send it out, right?
Copy. Yeah.
Well, I could print one. I just thought if we were going to have like 500 available, I don't have enough ink capacity to do that.
Do they even have Kinkos anymore? I don't think they have Kinkos anymore.
I don't know. You know what? I think you can do it at maybe it's
Staples.
Kristen, I think your idea of trying to use the town copier is a good one. If Craig can, if that would be okay. But I think we need to give a ballpark. Like, are we doing 100 copies? Do you really think we're doing 500? Is it 1,000? Because that might affect the town's answer.
I would think we would do 500.
Tell you what, if Amy gives me a clear copy, I'll take it over to Staples and make the 500 copies.
I can also do that, Craig, really. I don't mind doing that. So, and you've got enough on your plate. So if we can do that, then I can take it to Staples and print it out. I don't think it would be very expensive.
You sure, Kristen? Because I can do it.
The only thing is we'd also need that coloring. I mean, the Rise Up for Humanity flyer. Did we just want one printed out in color, or did we want a bunch of those?
I thought you were going to do one that was like a stand that would be in front of it. Have the sticker, their little attached thing in front of that. What do you think?
Okay, so maybe just print it out and put it in a frame.
Yeah, or we could make it big. Staples will make a big one for you if you want it.
Would you double-side it in the coloring sheet and put it on the back of the coloring sheet? Or do you want it to go with the sticker magnet?
It was going to be just for the decals.
Yeah.
As part of that.
So it was going to be sitting on the table with the decals and the coloring sheets. Okay.
Right.
I think an 8.5 by 11 is perfectly fine in a frame, sitting on the table.
I think you can also, like, that shouldn't be too hard. You could shrink it down to a half or a quarter page, depending on the formatting, and cut some in half and have like 50 or 100 there if people want the takeaway with them. And I can take care of making those copies.
Was the coloring sheet going to have something written on it, Kristen?
That's what I thought. With like the Human Rights Committee, maybe our website, maybe a QR code, Just something so that they've got our information so they can look us up. Nothing very, or maybe a quote, or I don't know, just something that we want, whatever message we want to send home with them, but keep it simple.
You know, I still have those Faces of Easton cards, those postcards. Maybe we could use those. I don't know, we still have them.
That might be would that be confusing though, because of the two are
All right.
we could just give those away. I mean, I think we should probably just get rid of those at this point, right? Give them away.
Yeah, we can just have a stack of them available.
In ideal world, you'd have the coloring thing on one side, and on the back side, you would have a shrunk down version of what you did, Karen. And they would take that.
All right, so we'll work with Amy and see if we can get the line art. And if somebody can send me what you want on the back, we can get it double-sided with the information from Karen and then the coloring sheet. And then while I'm at Staples, I can buy some paper clips and we can just clip on the stickers. And then while I'm at Staples, if you want something that's framed in color, send that to me and I can get them to print it off at Staples and have a nice copy.
Okay, that sounds great.
And then I also wanted to have a couple of the QR codes, like fairly large QR codes on an 8.5 by 11, just kind of on both of our tables so that folks who are interested in learning more about the Human Rights Committee generally can just scan it and go to our homepage. Do we still have a laminate? Does somebody have a laminator or did I dream that? Amy? If I send you the QR code, do you mind laminating like 2 sheets? I can
Yeah,
print
sure.
it. Okay. That would be helpful. Thank you.
I love to laminate.
When you raised your hand, I was like, that doesn't surprise me one bit. Okay, so by our next meeting, by September meeting, we would still have some discussion around this. Awesome. Okay, so this is great progress. Anything else we need to talk through for NRT?
I don't think, one more thing. I'm still playing phone tag with the NRT folks. I just actually emailed them a summary of what we're doing in a photo because I'm just having trouble getting in contact with them about, because I'm interested in learning where exactly we are going to be. So I just emailed them because the phone tag thing isn't working out. So hopefully we'll have an answer on where exactly we will or can, or our options shortly. But you know, I really do think if it rains, we don't attach the feathers. We just, you know, have people assemble them under the tent, and we'll not assemble them, have people do the artwork under the tent, and then we assemble it at a later date. And so I think all we need really is a place with an extension cord or access to power and a wall, and that should be pretty straightforward.
Allison, did you ask them about the internal inside the barn?
So I didn't, because honestly, I'm like have COVID fear and I'm not interested in being inside with hundreds of people coming in and out. So I didn't ask them yet. I can if you all think that you want to be inside for that. I don't know. I'd be happy to stand outside and direct people in.
Wasn't
tell you
there
in
a
the past-
restaurant last year operating out of that barn? It was a food area, I thought.
I don't know. I just threw it out because people were talking about the fact that,
Rain,
you know,
right.
God forbid it rains, you know,
Maybe under the pavilion.
that's another
Yeah.
option. Doesn't have a wall though.
No, but it has a roof.
I can tell you in the past, Jen has been really helpful in terms of working with us to place whatever our particular project was in a way that was good for the project while also incorporating all their other moving parts. So
Yeah.
Ally, I'll also be around with a fair amount of flexibility. So if you need someone to go over and you can't make it, I might be able to step in on that.
Okay. Yeah, I think they'll, it's just phone tag. That's all it is. They're great. I mean, they're great to work with. I know that they're going to find us a great spot, so I'm not really concerned with it, honestly. If we can't connect live in the next week or so, I'm just going to go down there midweek and kind of knock on the door and see what's going on.
I had a question. So for what Kristen is getting printed, is there any money in the budget for that?
I didn't put anything in the budget for printing, no.
I don't mind making it a donation to the cause. So,
Well, I'm happy to help you do it, Kristen.
yeah.
Me too.
It's not, I just
Yeah,
looked it up
same
on
here.
Staples. It's 15 cents a page. So
Well, and again, allies, right? That's a good ask of the allies. Maybe someone has access where this is easy for them to help out. So.
disconnected
Okay.
there. Sorry.
Oh, the signs. We didn't talk about the signs. The Hate Has No Home signs. I can't remember where we landed on that one.
Oh, yeah. I think we said we were just going to order, right?
Did somebody order?
I think
Well, that was
Liz,
gonna
were you
have to
reach out
be-
to Aliki?
I did reach out to Aliki, but I haven't heard anything back. But I think that was going to be a separate ask for the select board. So again, still part of the Stonehill money, but it makes sense for that to be purchased at once from the town. And I mean, frankly, that can even be the pickup place for the signs too. That would make it logistically easier.
You mean pick up at the NRT fair?
No, at town hall.
Oh.
Rather than like one of our houses or any of us delivering them or things like that. So that would be a logistical question about whether you can sort of add that in to our request to meet before the select board on the 13th.
Sounds like it's already been.
I don't know whether or not the signs would be something that the select board would, I can't speak for them, but it's a little bit a different kind of ask than a project. What's the price on the signs?
500.
$500 for 500 or $500 for 100?
Yeah. $500 for 100.
And you're anticipating having people pay for them, right? You're not giving them away.
Well, I think we were inconsistent on this the last time we did it. At one point we had asked for donations, and at other points we just kind of gave them away. So we were torn between doing a little bit of market research to see if there's an interest and demand for these signs before we order them, or hey, it's 100 signs, and I bet we can find 100 people who are interested. I will tell you, I mean, the town did support the purchase of these in the past, the first time we bought the signs, and I do feel they're consistent with the messaging that Stonehill liked about all of our prior projects. So even though it's a separate project from what we're planning for NRT, to me, it seems a consistent use of Stonehill funds, even though they are separate asks that would total about $1,000. And theoretically, the NRT project will hopefully get funded by ECC. So that's almost more like a pay and reimburse situation, whereas the Hate Has No Home is just an outright expense of $500.
Well, I suppose the HRC could ask for the money. I don't know, again, I can't speak for the other members of the select board as to whether they would think that is an appropriate use of the money or not. And I don't want to ask in advance and then, because I can't speak for them. So if you want to add that request, do you need it to do it now, or do you want to do it later in the year, or what's the timing, Liz?
I don't know the timing. We haven't looked into the turnaround for ordering. So say it's approved on the 13th. And, the morning of the 14th, one of us gets in touch with town to place the order. I don't know when they would arrive. Ideally, by NRT, they would, maybe not. Whole separate question of whether we want to distribute them there or just email it. I do feel confident, though, or strongly, that this is a good use of town money. It's good for the town to pay to support this message for people to display in town and in the greater community. But I can look into some details on the website right now.
So, I think when we first discussed this, we had talked about distribution at NRT because we were already going to have the foot traffic there. And it would be, we had heard of some interest. People have been reaching out via the email, the HRC email box, and just in person. And when we did have our last event, about the getting more signs. And so that's why we kind of brought that back to life. But if we think that we have too much going on at the NRT and we want to save this for another event, maybe kind of to Craig's point, is there a rush? And could we instead kind of bring this forward at a later month? And then potentially use our holiday time to distribute instead. And not kind of muddy what's happening with NRT with this additional project.
I feel like at the NRT, we get a lot of foot traffic. So it is a good place to distribute it. And, think about somebody comes up, they say, oh, we get the sticker, we get the sign. That's a really active group going on. So I think it's a positive thing if we could pull it together.
I'm thinking of logistics. Like last time around, we distributed at Center School. I think that's right, Michelle, right? We were able to bring them there. And so cars drove by to pick up their signs. People are going to be on foot, like you said, Kathy, kind of walking around NRT. Mm-hmm. I don't know about carrying the signs around. So possibly a drive-up situation might be better anyway.
What if we got people to request them at the NRT, like sign up to get one versus actually pick one up? That gives us a little more time. It's still something interactive and they walk away thinking they're getting something later.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And we could have a couple of the signs to draw attention to it. But I would, if I were just attending the NRT, I wouldn't want to carry around a sign personally.
No, I agree. Although you do see people laden with their wreaths, etc. But does somebody have a sign that we could show? Mine got stolen twice, so I don't have any.
I still have mine and I can bring it. And just an update, I've been looking on the website. The price is now $550 per sign. So it would be $550 we'd be asking for, not $500.
So if you asked for one for your family, they won't sell it to you that way.
Correct. Well, let me check. Before it was bulk only. No, wait a minute. Oh, okay. So if you buy one, it's 20. If you buy in bulk, it's $550.
And bulk has to be 100?
Yes. So If I'm an individual and I want to buy one, it's going to cost me $20. But the unit price, if we buy in bulk, is $5.50.
Okay, so it sounds like we're gonna table this. Let's move this one to next month. We'll assess interest at NRT for the sign. And then we can determine whether or not we want to move that forward for distribution potentially closer to the holidays. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Karen, did we say we were gonna ask for the funds on the 13th or not? Or just hold off?
Why wouldn't we?
As I said, it's a little bit different than asking for money for the project. I can't speak for the other 4 members of the select board as to whether they would like to put money towards that or whether they would rather order them if we're going to sell them to individuals for $5.50 and then reimburse the town for the expense. But I just made myself a note. I'll follow up and ask some questions about that.
Allison, are you going to the select board meeting? Is somebody going to present to them at all? Or actually, are they still remote? I don't even know.
We're remote still, but it is always helpful to have the chair or the vice chair there to articulate the project and support, and that's always effective with the select board.
What time is it on the 13th?
The meeting will start at 6. I won't get an agenda till the Thursday before.
I just wonder if HRC funds is already a line item on the agenda, maybe if somebody can go, maybe we could ask for both. I know that Dottie was on the select board the last time we asked for funding for the signs. I know you were, Craig, too, so it should be somewhat familiar. I don't know. I'm with Kathy. I think we should ask for them if we can do it.
The tension I feel like I hear Craig saying is it you're choosing between asking for many things at once versus making repeated asks before the board. Like asking now and then coming back in November and asking for something for December. And I don't know strategy-wise if the board has a preference, but I do agree, like, hear it once, decide at once, rather than it taking up time again later.
I don't think I'm going to be able to attend on the evening of the 13th, unfortunately. But if there's somebody else who is available, maybe we should attend.
I cannot attend the 13th.
What day of the week is it?
Monday.
Some Monday.
Wednesday.
Monday.
Oh, Monday. I can't do that.
I'm a horrible public speaker, but if nobody else can go, I can do it. I've done it before.
I think you underestimate your talents, Amy. So.
Thank you, Craig.
I agree.
Thank you, Amy. Okay, so we'll plan to, Amy will join the meeting on the 13th. She'll plan to discuss kind of summary of the NRT project as well as funding for the home signs.
So we need to put together a proposal for the signs separate from the project then.
Okay. Amy, I'll send you the NRT proposal that Craig already submitted, just so you have it.
Okay, great. And I can either add to it or write something up for the signs.
That would have to be, it have to be separate now. I think it would have to be separate now.
Okay.
But
It could be an amendment.
Is there a particular format, or can I just make it look similar to whatever Allison put together?
I think I think you just do that.
Okay.
And it's a, I would just add that at the bottom of the project proposal and add it to the bottom of the budget.
Okay.
Okay, well, not to complicate things, but, so back to Kristen's support of printing, should we then go ahead and try to make, Kathy's laughing, try and make some sort of amendment to the proposal for the NRT to include the printing cost? Because at first I would say 15 cents a sheet, not a big deal, but we're talking about 500 sheets, and now we want a printed version of the other document enlarged. We want double-sided. I just think the printing cost will be a bit more than just a small ask.
I wonder.
So how complex would it be to update our proposal and then resubmit to the board?
Do we still have money left from that other grant that we used to pay for the stickers? I think there was a couple $100 left. I know that when I asked for reimbursement or filled out the paperwork for reimbursement, we didn't use the full amount that we were given. I wonder if that's something we could go back to since it's tied together.
So that money went to the selectmen, right?
No, that was an ECC grant, I think.
But didn't the grant go to them? No, it came directly to us? So where is that money?
We used it to, we have the stickers, and we used it to buy the stickers and the decals.
But I meant the
It's reimbursement. So you have to submit the expenses.
So Kristen, if you could potentially get reimbursed, all you do is send them a receipt or even email a receipt, and you just get a check in the mail too. If that's another option.
That might be a good option. Would that work? If we still have money on the grants, and it does have something to do with the stickers. I mean, we're using the stickers and the colors.
It put in printing.
What did you say, Kathy?
We did put in printing in that grant.
Yes.
So we just do the cultural council?
Yes. I mean, how do we even find out if this is okay? I have the contact person. Want me to? I can just email
Amy, do we
and
know
ask.
how much we spent? Or that was,
We spent. I think we asked for 700 or 800, and we spent about 5. I'd have to look up the exact dollar amounts, but I know there was at least $200 or so left.
Yeah, and we ordered so many stickers that we just didn't feel like we should order any more at that point.
It's worth an ask for the cultural council to see if that money is still available or whether they used it for something else.
Yeah, I'll ask that question, and I'll copy you, Kristen, and maybe you, Karen, just to, is that too many people?
Thanks, that's great.
Okay.
That's fine, Amy. You can copy Kristen, and then I can follow up with you after.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, awesome. So that's NRT. Anything else, Allie, that we didn't cover?
I think that might be it.
Okay, awesome. I'm doubting anybody had time for listening session planning, but I'll go ahead and ask. Any listening session planning updates? Okay, let's go. We'll table that for next month. Partner activities. I know Irene couldn't join us today. She's usually our kind of liaison for anything RMK. I have not heard anything on the Massachusetts Coalition, Human Rights Coalition this month either. Anybody know of any kind of partner activities going on? Okay. So for other action items, I do have a topic. It's the wayfinding working group. So, sorry, it's going to take me a minute just to pull this up. So the wayfinding working group. On August 23rd, the select board approved the establishment of the wayfinding working group. The goal of this group will be to assist the Department of Public Works in developing signage and wayfinding for the Northeastern Village Northeastern Village Main Street Streetscape project, which will then serve as the basis for uniform wayfinding and signage throughout the town on an ongoing basis. Uniform wayfinding helps to promote an inclusive sense of place within a community and is a deliverable sought by the town's master plan, Envision Easton. The wayfinding working group will be comprised of staff and board and committee members from the groups listed above. And so they are asking for a representative from the Human Rights Committee. So, anyone in particular interested in representing the Human Rights Committee on the wayfinding working group? We need to provide them a member by September 20th.
I think this is an exciting opportunity for folks to be involved in developing signage for the Northeastern Village, which again is going to be used as a model for Queesit and other areas in town. If you go, some communities already have this. So when you go in, it says entering the historical district or entering the Northeastern Village, and it tells people where they can go to find different activities and for shopping, for eating, for just walking tours, for parking. Those are the kinds of things that it envisions.
I volunteer. I live on Pratt's Corner, and I've got a sign at my corner, and I love those signs. So this speaks to me.
Good for you, Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen.
Kristen, if you're not available, I'm happy to back you up because I live in Northeastern Village.
Great,
Thank you,
thank you,
Kathy.
Kathy.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and submit Kristen's name to the wayfinding group, and then Kristen, let me know if you don't hear directly from them or if I can help follow up in any way. And thank you, Kathy, for providing backup as well. Awesome. Okay. It doesn't look like we have any other topics from the group that we wanted to cover today. Liz?
Yeah, I just have a quick one. Amy, if you get a chance this week, can you just update the leadership on the website to change over with the new chairs? I think, Craig, we've done everything we need to at the town to notify them of the new chair and vice chair, because I've been replying to emails as they come through.
With the clerk's office.
Yes. So yeah, just update the website. And then I have sort of another topic or just a comment, which is that I had some brief email exchanges with the new principal at the high school, who seems very interested in learning more about the Human Rights Committee. And I mentioned to her that there were several OA high school parents who are on the board here and rising parents. So perhaps in the future, we might want to invite her to one of our meetings.
Great idea.
I was gonna try to
Great
go to,
idea.
I was gonna try to go to one of her coffee talks sometime soon, seeing as that I officially have a freshman starting tomorrow. So I'll definitely introduce myself both as a parent, as an HRC member too. So.
I also just wanted to follow up. I know Beth's not here, but she asked me to talk to Dr. Cabral about critical race theory. And I have put it out there, and it will be coming up on an agenda. We just had a lot to do to get ready for school with COVID and the ever-changing COVID protocols by the minute. But I just want to acknowledge that I have put it on everyone's radar, and it will be coming up. I just don't know exactly when.
Michelle, unrelated, but big thank you for everything you do.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Michelle's
Okay,
chair
thank
now.
you.
Anyone else missed that memo?
Yeah. sometimes.
Yeah, she did a very, very good job at the meeting where the issue came up about whether or not masks were going to be required at the for staff, teachers, and students starting this week. And that was it was a difficult meeting, and she handled it very, very, very well. As did Alicia, and Chrissy from the school department.
Thank you, Craig.
Totally second that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right. I don't think we have any public participation today. Doesn't look like there's anyone sitting in the queue. Otherwise, if we don't have any other topics, I think we can move to adjourn the meeting.
So I just want to be clear, Amy's going to send me an updated proposal for the select board that includes printing costs and the hate has no place signs.
I think I'm gonna not do the printing costs because we'll try to apply for the remainder of that ECC grant for that. But I'm gonna send you something separate for the hate has no home here signs, and I can go to the meeting and I will represent both asks. One for the Stonehill money for the NRT project, and one for hate has no home here.
Okay, all right. I was just wondering whether we should just add it to the current proposal, but maybe it's better to have two-part proposal.
I think we should add it. Just stick it in there. So Kelly
It's-
sends it to you, you could just add it at the bottom. And then the budget's like one. Just add it at the bottom. And then the budget's like one.
You tell me what you think is best, Craig. I can do either.
I'm
Yeah,
wondering if it should be two separate in case they like one and not the other.
Yeah, I would say two separate ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
So just to confirm, our next meeting is end of September.
No, it's September 7th. No, sorry, September. Just pulled it up and I lost it. Hold on. That's Sorry, it was moved from September 7th.
Right. So I had it as the 28th. We were going to do that last Tuesday again to get one in before NRT.
Yes, I think that's right. I did not request it yet.
And then at that September meeting, are we going to come up with a more definite plan for the rest of the year?
So actually, I think at that point, I've been hearing from folks interested in the open spot on our committee. Sorry, September 28th is the date. Yes, I do have a meeting scheduled, or I do have it set up for the town already. So hopefully by then we can try and onboard the new team members, and then this way we could reassess if the time works for everyone, just in case it doesn't for any new team member. That makes sense?
Yeah, I haven't checked to see who else besides the physician has applied for the HRC. But I would assume that if somebody else has, that it would be part of the September 13th select board meeting. And you and I have to set on a date and time to interview the doctor.
Right. Okay, that sounds like a
So
plan.
I'll move to adjourn.
Thanks, Craig.
Second.
Okay, we'll
Barger,
vote by
yes.
vote.
Yeah, Barger, yes.
Ornstein, yes.
Gershman, yes.
Lance, yes.
Foster, yes.
Hey, yes.
Julie, yes.
Chan, yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Stay safe, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.